plan. We got quite a few things going on, but first we got to do a little bit of work, deliver our load, and then sometime today we were gonna meet up with somebody and try to get. He's asking for some help on, how to get started and stuff like that, or what I do and how I do things, so as far as YouTube wise. So we're gonna go meet up with him and help him out a little. So let's go. Well, first off is we're going down. Let's go. Come on, let's go, trooper. So first, let's get some coffee. There she is. It's been over 2 days since the last time we've seen each other. She's probably a little mad at me. That's okay. This is the longest I've been separated from her in about 6 months. Alright, so it's nighttime. We just got done loading out of Bally's. I wanted to fly the drone over there, but hey, it's a no-fly zone. We'll be here for another night. And Red Rock Casino is looking pretty good right now, so that's probably where we're gonna be heading. Tim Hortons. That means I'm in Canada. I know. First off, I owe everybody an apology. I've been gone for nearly 2 weeks now. After Vegas, I was supposed to be heading to Foxwood, which I was heading to Foxwood, and I got sick along the way. This time I was sick as a dog. I had to give up the load, and I had to lay around for 4 days. Yeah, I had to lay around for 4 days up there in Ohio, and I couldn't do nothing, man. I was so sick. I mean, it was insane. So, but usually I don't get sick like that. I get sick like that like maybe once every 3 or 4 years, but that one was pretty bad. So I guess I was due for it. I don't know. Anyway, you see that guy right there? I love that guy, man. I know the drone footage might be getting old. Not for me though. I love the drone, man. That thing is amazing. Right now we're in Canada. It's definitely grounded in Canada. The rules here is just so strict. I mean, you can't fly over 75 meters. You cannot fly within 75 meters of buildings, vehicles, people. Within 9 kilometers of any helipad, or an airplane might fly, or a chopper might fly, or a boat, or something like that to that effect. It's just insane, man. The rules over here are insane, and you cannot fly it to where you cannot keep an eye on it. So it's no more than 500 meters, but it has to be within sight at all times. So You can't fly it at night. You can't fly it with in clouds. I mean, it's crazy, man. So after I got over that flu, I was not feeling it. I was too lazy. I'm gonna admit that straight up. I was just lazy. I had to watch so many inspirational YouTube videos for me to get back on here with you guys right now. You know, I mean, I was eventually gonna get back into it. It's just that for some reason I did not have that, that motivation. Enough of me rambling. Let's get on these hands. So this first hand, we got 10-8 off. We're in the big blind, and it's a limp pot all the way around. And the flop came. There's four limpers, including the big blind. That's me. So, but the flop came 3-5-6. So I checked, and then middle position bets $10, and the cutoff calls $10, and I call $10. So, I don't think I was ready to give up yet. I don't know why I was calling $10, but for some reason I thought there was some chance. So anyway, I called the $10, and the turn came an 8, offsuit 8. So we paired up. We got top pair. Not to really be proud of. So I checked, and then the middle position, I sensed some weakness in him, and he bets $20. I thought he was actually making a move. So since I hit the top pair, and I'm actually at what, 80-ish. I only had like 80-ish, so I don't think we can fold here. We got top pair and decent kicker. So I think if I was calling the 20 with my stack size, I don't think I could make any other move other than a call. After the 20, I can't. I mean, I have $60 left after that. So that's why I thought it was the best move was to fold out better hands. I shoved all in, and I don't think a call is good there. So, and with my stack size, I think shoving all in was really the better play in my opinion. So I shoved all in, and sure enough, he shows his hands, and he folds them. He had pocket nines. So this next hand, we are in a small blind, and we have queens. He bet $7 and one call behind him, and queens are just way too strong here. So, a 3-bet's in effect, most definitely. So we 3-bet to $21, and everyone folds. So. This one, we got our hand caught in the cookie jar. So, we're in the cutoff, and we open to $12, and we got one caller. The flop come 2-6-8. He checks, so we bet $12, and then he calls the $12. So, and then the turn came a 10. So we bet 25, and he sits there for a second, thinks, and then makes the call. So at this point, I thought he was still drawing. Maybe looking for a higher pair still. I don't know. He thinks I'm bluffing. I felt like he thought I was bluffing at this spot, which I was. So, but he made the call. He hesitated quite a bit though. So he made the call, and the river came an 8. So he checks, and I don't think we can check here. Value bet, I think, is the best bet here. So I bet 60, 25, 25, 24, which is a pretty good bet, a pretty good value bet. So a little bit over half the pot. So he sits there for a minute. So we show King Jack off, and he shows pocket aces. So this next hand, you're probably wondering, what the hell you doing in there with that hand? We got deuce 3 off. Deuce 3 off. Anyway, so we're in the big blind, and player 2 or C2, C2 raise, and everybody around calls except for one player. So you talking about there's 8 times 12. I cannot see myself not calling this hand. I could have had 7 deuce here. I'm calling, you know. So I think I'm willing to waste that $10 because if the flop was to come 7-7-7 or deuce deuce deuce, if I had 7 deuce, you know, I'm stacking people. So anyway, before this hand, I just rebought. Right, I rebought for 200 more, and I got it up to about 260 or something like that. So we call, and the flop came king 2 3, 2 clubs. A good flop, not the best flop, but a good flop for us. So small blind checks. I check original raiser raised to $15. Seat number 3 calls $15. Seat number 5 made it 30, and then seat number 7 calls, and everybody else folds. So it's up to us. Now let's analyze this hand first. Right, here's my take on the players around the table. I want to give you an image of these players around the table. So player number 2, pretty straightforward player. You know, he buys in for the min and just plays solid cards. So I credited, this time, I gave him a King X type hand, okay? Anything like King Jack, King 10, King Queen, you know, King 9 possibly suited, you know, but those type hands. So, but seat number 3, she's pretty much bullshit. So I did not give her a king. Seat 5, however, I've been in the table with him for a minute now, and I know he pays attention to the table, and he's pretty good player. You know, he's just regular. He made it $30, and seat number 7, this is the passive player, calls and just calls and calls. So seat number 5, I put a King X type on his hand as well. And seat 7, I put a King X type on his hand. Actual thought at this time of this hand. So I was thinking, okay, the only thing that actually dominates my hand is King Deuce, King 3 type hands, right? Pocket 2s and pocket 3s, I discredited those hands because 2 3s and 2 2s are already accounted for. There's about $180 something in the pot. I'm sitting at 232 or something like that. So I don't think I have much of a choice here, you know. I've got a pretty good hand, and my read on everybody on the table was King X type hand, which I know could get called because previous hand, which was the King Jack, they seen me bluff with it. They seen me raise a hand with 6-7 off, like 4 hands before this, and these are regular players. So actually seat 5 even spoke and said I cannot call because there was another player behind him. So he had King X type hand. So I'm not trying to justify my action here, but I think a shove was the best play for me. I think I could get called by worse hand. Seat 7, he sat there and think for a minute. He think and thinks and thinks. He must have tanked for about 2 or 3 minutes or so. But eventually made the call. I don't think he was ever folding because he had set of deuces. Can you? We ran into the nuts. We were pretty much drawing dead. So I don't know. I'm pretty happy with the line I took. I did think about this hand for a very long time, and I kept running it over and over and over. I don't think I could have gotten away from it. I really don't. So, but what surprised me is how much he thought about the hand, and he actually almost folded. There's so many hands that could be involved that I'm dominating. That's why I thought I had the best hand and I could be called by worse. So that's why I shoved, and we ran into a set of deuces. So he almost folded. So I thought it was a good shove. Anyway, we lose this session. I made a good play though. I was pretty happy with the way I played. So I don't want to be too much result oriented, but believe it or not, I was thinking about raising the deuce three off from the big blind when he came to me. So I that was my first instinct, and I should have followed that instinct because I could have had the deuces fold. But that's being result oriented. I discredited pocket twos and pocket threes because two cards are already accounted for. So I'm looking at blockers. I don't know. Was I wrong for that? I don't think so. So anyway, we lose this hand, guys. That's okay. You can't win them all, right? We lose 560. We bought in for 560 and we cashed out at $0.0000. So I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all. So I'm not discouraged by any means whatsoever. So this guy right here is bringing a whole new meaning to this vlog. Stay tuned.